Let's go out to Mike in beautiful San Diego, California. What's up, Mike? How we doing?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it, man. What's up?
So, I'm at a point in my life where I don't know what to do anymore, and I'm just really stressed out and depressed, and I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel anymore.
Tell me about it, man.
So I have a construction business, and it does okay. I mean, it does enough to pay the bills, but I don't even feel motivated to grow it, and I'm just lost at what I want to do. So
where does the loss come from, man? Because what you're describing is you're describing work. You're describing this. You got a wife. You got kids.
I have a girlfriend, and we have one kid together.
Okay.
I went through a divorce a few years ago.
Okay.
And that messed me up mentally and financially.
Yeah.
So,
was that where it started? This idea that no matter what you do, this is just kind of be the way this is.
Well, kind of.
Or
yeah.
did you pick that up when you were a kid? Where'd that come from, man? Somebody gave you that story that crappy things happen. This is the way this is. And maybe you can go to a couple of ball games and a couple of concerts, and your kid will be a good soccer star in elementary school, and that's kind of the joy you get. Who told you that, man?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm really lost. That's why I'm trying to find what my purpose is, basically.
So what do you want to do, man? Like, if you could snap your fingers right now, what would you want to do?
Well, I mean, I love what I do business-wise, like work. I love the construction business.
What do you love about it? What do you love about it?
I love building, creating, just everything about it.
Do you like working with customers? Do you like planning and sitting with architects? Or do you like getting a crew of guys together and going to solve a problem? Or do you like picking up the shovel and just getting after it yourself? What do you like about it?
More like the managing side of getting things together, and just labor side. I'm doing all the labor right now, but I feel I'm more good at putting everything together and getting everything going.
Okay. What about your kid?
Makes sense.
Tell me about your kid.
Yeah, he's 2 years old.
Yeah. What's his name?
Cyrus.
Is he fun? Is he a mess? He's all over the place?
Oh yeah, he's really active.
Yeah. Active is what exhausted fathers say so they can remind themselves, I still love you, I still love you, I still love you. He's very active. Well done, man.
So, Mike, outside of your career, and obviously you've got your personal life at home, if you could snap your fingers a year from now, what do you think would transform your life to where you wake up and you're excited? What's keeping you up at night right now that we can help with?
Well,
is it money, or do you have money problems? Are you not happy with your relationship?
Well, I think that's my biggest stress right now. It's the money side, because I'm in debt with friends and family.
How much debt are you in total?
Credit card debt, close to $20,000.
$20,000, and that's credit card debt and personal loans?
No credit card or personal. It's mostly to friends and family.
Why are you borrowing money from friends and family, dude?
My business slowed down for a while, and I was just trying to make things and just trying to make ends meet, I guess.
What's your income?
On a good month, like 5,000.
Okay, and is your girlfriend working? Are you guys splitting bills? How is this working?
No, my girlfriend, she's a stay-at-home mom at this moment.
Okay, so you're the sole provider right now.
Yeah.
You got a mortgage?
No mortgage. I'm renting.
How much is your rent?
$1,800.
That's a lot of rent. for your income.
Yeah.
Could you guys downsize? Could you move?
I don't know, in San Diego, huh?
Yeah, well, I tried looking at something cheaper, but everything's just, it's,
The other option is we got to get this income up if we're going to choose to live in San Diego. And so that becomes the next piece of the puzzle. You're running this business?
yeah. So
But you're also, are you the sole employee or do you have people working for you?
No, I'm just a sole employee.
Okay. So to scale, how do we get this thing to where you're making $100,000?
Well, I've been applying with construction companies as project manager, and I get emails saying that my application and resume is getting a lot of attention, but I have not got one interview. And I've applied to over 30 places, I think. Yeah.
So, dude, let that tell you a story that you want to be a project manager at a construction company. You know how to do that. And 30 different companies have said, we don't think you're quite there yet. Awesome. Go to the next rung right below that and go in there as a head of projects or a head of something or a head of the construction, whatever part of construction you're really good at, pouring concrete, doing landscape, whatever you're good at, and get your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
You're absorbing every rejection as a statement about Mike's worth. Not just somebody saying, no, I don't think that's the right job for you, or I got somebody else in line for this, or everybody in California is trying to find work, and so we've got you. Like, at some point, it becomes like, you've got some skills. I'm thinking of you right now. Me and George can't do what you do. Like, if we can't just run our mouths on the radio, we're in a mess. You can build a thing. You can fix a thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to see a couple of things. I want you to call BetterHelp.com today, and BetterHelp.com/Deloney, and it's going to give you a discount. I want you to go talk to a counselor. Okay, I think you're struggling with depression. I think you need to call somebody. The second thing is we're going to send you Ken Coleman's Get Clear Assessment and Proximity Principle. Teach you to get close to some of these guys, and I want you to read it. And I'm going to send you FPU, Financial Peace University, but you and your girlfriend have to go through these classes. Stop playing house, get married, start settling into this thing, and dude, the light will come on if you will look for it, my brother. We got you.
Jacob is up next in Saginaw, Michigan. Hey, Jacob, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you doing?
We are doing well. Thanks for the call. How can we help?
So my wife and I are in more debt than I ever thought I'd be in, and we are struggling with going forward with this and wanting to grow our family.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the debt situation. How much do you guys owe?
Around $200,000.
Okay. What type of debt is it?
$175,000 of it is in student loans.
Okay.
And we have my wife's car, and some credit card, and then some money that we owe my wife's parents.
Okay. So how much is all that? How much is the car?
The car is $14,500.
Okay. Credit cards?
$7,000.
Mm-hmm. And how much do you guys owe the in-laws?
$2,700.
$2,700. Okay. How much you guys make a year?
Together, $84,000.
Okay. And do you guys have kids now, or you're wanting to start a family? What's part of that?
Wanting to start a family.
Wanting to start a family. Okay. How old are you guys?
We are both 27.
27. That's great. Well, I want Jade to jump in here because she and her husband walked a really powerful story. But Jacob, I also want to tell you, just hearing you and your voice, you sound overwhelmed and tired, stressed, maybe even a little embarrassed and shameful. Like, I just want to encourage you that as you guys begin this journey, your future is so bright. You guys are young. You have time. You have ability. And what you guys have done in the past, and even though it feels so overwhelming and so stressful, I'm just telling you, doing this job for over a decade, this can change.
Absolutely.
And that's the really beautiful thing about this, Jacob, is that you guys have the ability to. And so, Jade, what kind of encouragement would you give Jacob as they start this? Because it feels like a lot.
I echo what Rachel said. You guys have time, and this does feel overwhelming. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of debt, but it doesn't mean it can't be cleaned up. And I know that you guys can work this plan. And also, your income's going to go up. You're 27 years old, your income's going to go up. And when it comes to the family side of things, if you're looking to start a family, like Rachel said earlier, do it. You don't have to wait until you're debt free, to start a family. So I kind of want to just give you the go ahead on that. And when it comes to this debt, let's just work this out. Okay. So are you just a listener, or have you had time to dive into the baby steps or total money makeover, or have you just learned about us through the show here on the radio podcast?
A coworker told me about the show in November, and I've been listening to the podcast and reading some books that I got for Christmas.
Okay. That's a great place to start. Before you get off the call today, we're going to make sure that you and your wife get Financial Peace University, because that's going to be what's really going to hammer home everything that we talk about on the air today. You're not going to remember everything. Yes, you can go back and listen to it, but Financial Peace is going to really go through this with you guys and get you on the same page and give you that hope that you need surrounding your situation. But for the time being, let me kind of just walk you through this so that you've got some hope when you get off the phone here with us today. So we're just going to boil this down into the easiest possible step, easiest baby step going forward. So do you guys have any money set aside in savings whatsoever?
We have $1,000.
Excellent.
Great.
So you got baby step 1 accomplished. Check 1. Very good. And now after that, we're talking about paying off debt and baby step 2, using the debt snowball. But before I get into that, are you guys using a budget? Because you're going to need to be on a budget in order for this to be effective.
Yeah, we've been working through a budget the last month and a half or so.
Are you using every dollar or just something else?
There's spreadsheets that I make.
Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, so with your budget, how much are you able to, after you've just paid minimum payments on all of your expenses, after you've crunched everything down, right? Because we want to decrease lifestyle as much as possible. How much do you have to throw out your debt each month?
Right now, we have $1,100.
Okay. So we're going to just start with that $1,100, and we're going to start with the smallest possible debt. It looks like the family loan, $2,700. So you're going to be able to knock out a good portion of that, a third of that this month. And then you're just going to keep working down. Now, the thing with the debt snowball is you're listing them from smallest to largest. I know you've got student loans and you're probably thinking about interest rates. I know they're on pause right now, but listing the debts from smallest to largest, paying minimum payments on everything, and all the extra money that you can find, you're putting at that smallest debt. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys working, because you can only lower your expenses so much, right? You got to get your income up more too. And it doesn't have to be long term. It can be temporary, but we got to get out of debt. When my husband and I were getting out of debt, we paid off $460,000 of debt, Jacob. And we had our regular jobs, but we were moving heaven and earth to get as much money in our monthly budget as possible. I'm talking about training dogs and selling cupcakes and putting tint on windows. These are the things that we were doing to make money. And here's the thing, you don't have kids yet. And while you don't have kids, that's when you can get out and really get your hands dirty. I mean, this is the time of life where you can,
Jacob.
Yeah, you can be working until 2 and 3 in the morning. You don't have to worry about a baby screaming. So please, please, please take advantage of this. And I'm not saying don't start a family, but I'm saying you got 9 months at least.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Jacob, it's about how quickly you're going to move this needle. So.
And we talk about gazelle intensity, Jacob, and you'll hear that in Financial Peace when you go through it with your wife. But there's the mindset of getting into debt is pretty easy, right? You sign your name to some paper, you're kind of just falling in, and it's just, we say you can wander your way in, but you cannot wander your way out. And so we talk about gazelle intensity because in scripture it says, if you have signed surety, my son, do this. Deliver yourself like a bird from the hand of the fowler and a gazelle from the hands of the hunter. So that gazelle, when you have that picture of the Discovery Channel and watching a gazelle outrun a cheetah, the intensity, the strain, running for their life, That's the amount of intensity, Jacob, that I want you and your wife to be in, because you're not going to knock out this debt. And I know it's overwhelming. It feels like a lot, $200,000, but you guys can do this.
Yes.
You really can, but it's going to take a lifestyle that people are going to make fun of you. You're not going to do anything. You're really going to put all of your money towards this debt. You're going to be working extra, like Jade said. It's going to be a season of sacrifice, but it's just for a period of time. And then after, right, Jade?
That's
You
right.
and Sam, you're like, oh, when it's all done, you're like, okay.
Look, when the storm clouds finally part, you guys are going to be doing a happy dance like nobody else. You live like no one else now, and that means, an old busted car. It means selling things. It means working hard. But later, you're going to be able to live and give like no one else. You're going to change your life. You're going to change your family tree, and that change starts today. Jacob, change is a choice. You can do this, dude.
Brought to you by YRefi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
So my ex-husband has not been able to hold down a job due to his health, and he has not paid alimony or child support in 5 months. His only assets are his 401k and a little bit of the equity in the house that I got in the divorce. That he gets that equity when I refinance when I finish school. So I'm wondering if it's fair to ask him to cash out some of his 401k to pay his responsibilities. I know there's huge punishments, but he's working on disability, and that can take a long time, but he's got no other assets to feed his kids.
Shoosh. What a mess. Because, at the end of the day, it's going to fall on his kids on the back end, right?
Yeah, right. Like, I'd rather he, keep his kids alive now than, I don't know. Well,
no, but they're going to be propping him up right now, or they're going to be propping him up in the future. If he cashes it out, then he's going to be calling them when he's old and can't work.
Yeah.
So let me ask about your situation. Are you unable to support them right now without his check?
I'm getting some financial support from my family, but I'm going through school. I've still got years to go before I can have any training that can pay anything more than fast food.
Okay.
So.
I feel like fair is that word is stuck with me. I'm like, is it fair?
It's the wrong answer. It's the wrong question.
It's more like what is necessary to keep the roof over our heads and keep the kids fed and keep the basics here. I wouldn't use it as a punishment, and I don't think you are. You sound like a lovely person.
Is he for real hurt, or is he trying to end around not having to pay?
No, I believe it's genuine. He can't work.
Okay, so let's take the alimony piece off, because that's a third rail right now. Let's pretend y'all are still married. And I know that's a big stretch. Okay, your husband, who's working in your home, gets hurt and he can't make any more money. You'll have to have some hard conversations about the house you live in. And you think, I'm not going to disrupt the kids' lives. The kids' lives are already really disrupted. I need to go to school right this minute so that I can finally get a degree, so I can finally get to earning some real money so I can take care of everybody long term. That makes sense unless you can't afford to do it right this second.
So our housing, that we refinanced this house when it was at the bottom of the interest. My interest rate is 2.6. My mortgage is $1,000.
Okay.
I can't rent a studio apartment in Utah for under $1,000.
No, I got you. So I get it.
The financial sense means that the kids and I stay here. If I was still married to him, we would keep this house. If we were still married, I would ask him to petition some kind of hardship to get into his 401k. His parents are paying his rent. I guess my parents are paying my mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, you can contact your attorney and you can say, hey, I want him to forego his stake in the equity of this house. That didn't put cash in your pocket.
He's threatening that he needs to do a bankruptcy because of his credit card debt since the divorce, and so he's threatening that he needs a bankruptcy. And I'm worried that this is an asset in his name.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're grasping at straws here.
Okay.
He owes you money. The bank says he does. Morally, he owes you money. He doesn't have any. How much is in this mystical 401 that you think he can give you?
He has $250,000 in it.
And how old is he?
He's 42 years old.
And he's done working? Is he gonna have to fight with disability forever?
He's going to have to fight to get on disability. He hopes that he can rejoin the workforce someday, but based on his last 10 years of health, I don't see how it's possible. He's hitting early dementia.
Okay. So, I mean, that's the question I'll ask you. Like, I mean, I guess you can. What's he going to do besides call your kids and ask for money?
I just feel like I'm asking my family for help to take care of his children.
They're
Right?
your
And
children
he
too,
has
though.
said- yeah, no, they are, and I have a plan. I'm getting through school as quickly as I can. I'm selling my blood money.
No, I know everybody's working hard. I think there's just a global situation here, which is the guy's hurt. He can't work. And we don't like him. We're mad at him. He blew up our life. All those things, fill in the blank, the divorce and all that. He didn't have it.
But I mean, doesn't he have it? Can't he get into that 401k? Isn't it better to use it now?
Then when?
When he's 65 and he has zero, nothing?
I don't see him living till he's 65.
Who's the beneficiary on the 401k?
I don't know if he switched it over to his new wife and his kids. But I have a life insurance on him that I kept from our marriage.
Okay, what's the policy value?
His is $500,000.
And you're the beneficiary.
I am.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I don't know enough to know Utah law. I would go sit down with somebody and even see if you even have a claim to it. I don't even know if you have a claim to it.
My gut says the attorney, the courts, they're going to say, hey, this is a last-ditch thing that we would need to approve in order to garnish his retirement to make this happen. They're going to explore every other option, and they may end up where you are, going, this is all this guy has, and here's how much we're going to garnish to make this work, but he's broke. And so we can't just rob his entire retirement and just give it to you. They might have a different option. So
we have a guy who's very unhealthy, has been. He's got early onset dementia. He's unable to work. He's trying to piece together Social Security and piece together disability. And maybe you can find a judge that will force him to cash out part of his 401 and take the 35 or 40% penalty, whatever he's going to have to pay, and give you the other piece of it.
Is it fair because my sister's supporting me and I'd like to pay her back someday, is it fair to say, hey, if you forego the equity that I owe you, then you can not pay me the child support?
Yeah, if I'm you,
that's the best solution based on what you've told us. And I think if you went to the courts and an attorney, they'd probably tell you something similar. Is let's explore that before we garnish his retirement.
But that doesn't put cash in your pocket.
No, but I mean, my sister, she can float me, but not forever.
I think we need to figure out how to make Kathleen's life sustainable without the outside help, and that might take some sacrifice in the short term.
You might need to pause going to school. What are you going to school for?
I'm going for radiology technology.
Okay. It may be that you can't afford to do that right now. And you have to go work 3 or 4 jobs, and it's an awful economic trap that single moms find themselves in. And I know that sounds like a 2 steps back, and I don't want to. I just don't think anybody's in a situation to do anything that they want to do right now. I think we have to do some different things. You can get with a lawyer and try to go do what you got to do. I don't know what the laws are, so you need to get with an attorney there. I'd want to look in the mirror first.
Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey. Brought to you by Zander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Zander.com.
I friended somebody on Facebook who I thought was NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin, and we developed a friendship, and it quickly turned financial, and I thought it was Denny Hamlin, and it became all about my money, and I ended up doing like 6 Quandy $500 gift cards, and I was told that he had a briefcase stuck in customs, and his documentation to get it inside the United States expired, so I ended up doing a withdrawal on my 401k and killed my IBM 401k. and then it kept being held in customs, and I ended up doing more loans on my other Global Foundries 401k, and I lost like $100,000.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, dude.
That's awful. I'm so sorry, Mark.
I know it didn't make you feel any better, but people are getting
I appreciate that.
people are getting scammed right and left all over the world, man. I'm sorry.
And it's smart people, too.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing to fall for is, well, I'm just a big idiot. It could happen to anyone. These scams these days are getting so sophisticated that the smartest people out there are still falling for this stuff. And I'm sorry that you were the next victim.
Yep.
When did you realize that this was a scam?
It was later on. This happened like February. It started February of last year, and it started out with like five or six $500 gift cards, and from there it went to him saying his documentation to get his stuff inside the U.S. expired, and then it went to his bank was dragging his feet, and he needed to have me do another loan, and I just.
How did you send all this money?
It was by a cashier's check. And I sent it to place in, I believe, in Virginia. And I had the police, no, it was in Arkansas. And I had the police in Arkansas looking at it. I called the U.S. Secret Service. I called the FBI. I called the state police. I called the Berry police. And you name it, I called it. And one by one, everybody just left me. And my lawyer said that I needed to have a different type of lawyer. My lawyer was helping me out for quite a while. And then my other lawyer has not really gotten back in touch with me. So,
well, let's pretend that there's a worst case scenario where we just have lost this money and we have to rebuild. Where are you at today?
I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage. And you should get it only from Xander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Xander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Xander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282.
Where are you at today?
I just barely looked at my 401k, and I thought originally it was like 200,000, which to me was all right, considering it's just me because I'm divorced.
How old are you?
And then I am 54.
Okay.
And I looked at my balance as of today, and it was 146,321. So it's not 100,000 like I thought it was. It's 146.
Okay. Do you have any debt today?
No. The only thing I do, I pay $1,000 for rent, and that's heat, hot water, utilities, trash, recycle. And then I pay $60 for phone, and then I pay like $50 a month for Wi-Fi, and that's it.
Good. So you have low expenses. What do you make a year?
I make about $60,000 a year. My pay per hour is $24.71.
Okay. So how can we help today?
I'm scared and I'm fearful, and I'm wondering what to do.
What are you scared of specifically?
Finances, worrying how I'm going to afford things. What happens when I need a car? How do I get my money back that I lost?
I think you have to go in when everything feels overwhelming. I think you have to go in a particular order and go slower than you think. Here's what I mean.
Yep.
In your guts, you want vengeance. You want to find out who hurt you, who weaponized what you thought was a new friendship, especially on the back end of a divorce when things are tough. Somebody weaponized what I think is the most sacred thing, and that's a relationship. And then inside that relationship, somebody asked you for help, and you're the kind of guy that helps. And that hurts, man.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I was financially raped.
It's fair enough. And so you want to go get all that money back. Your car transmission doesn't care about that. And so while I want to get it back, I want to find the guy, I'm calling all the people, like that's like front and center in your gut. You feel that really heavy. When we're hurt like this and it feels overwhelming, it's important to feel that feeling and then go do the next right thing. And in your case, we just got to start again financially. And that sounds caustic, but there's not another option. And so here's the good news. You have 150 grand.
Yes.
You didn't wipe it out. So we're going to start building it back. We're going to get an emergency fund built up. So we're our own bank. And so when our car goes, we're going to be a couple of years away from getting the big, nice truck we wanted. Cool. We're going to be able to have money in the account just in case we need to go get a new Camry. Great. Cool. Problem solved. On to the next one. And then in the background, we'll do what we can. I don't know. I mean, the chances that you get this money back are very, very, very slim.
Yep.
What I don't want is for this to consume you. Obviously, it already has, but for the next 10 years, you're just on this hunt and this search, and over time, it becomes more and more apparent it's not going to happen. And so I also don't want you to waste your time kind of going down this rabbit trail all for nothing. I'd rather you spend that time rebuilding than recovering. And so we can rebuild. You might have to work a few years longer than you wanted to. You're 54. I just crunched some numbers for you. If you just invested 15% of that $60,000 income, never got a raise, but you'd have to work till 70, you could have $1 million in that 401k and retire with dignity, especially if you keep your expenses low. So I'm not worried that you're going to just go completely broke. I'm more worried about Mark as a person, emotionally and physically.
Thank you.
Can I give you a homework assignment?
Kind of, yeah. So I know how you guys say to jumpstart and go and pay off one bill and then do a snowball and go after the next bill. So a friend offered to pay off my small loan that I have.
I thought you said you had no debt.
Well, no, those loans that I took out on my 401k, I have two loans on my 401k that I took out. And
how much are they?
Let's see. One is like 19,000, and the other's like 3,000.
Okay. So is that all of your loans and debt? To be clear, you don't have any credit card debt, no car debt, just the 401k loans.
That's it.
I would not put money between you and yet another relationship.
No.
And so your friend is awesome. He's just like you. He's a guy who shows up and helps, wants to help. And you've tried that before, and you put money between you and what you thought was a friend, and it went sideways. I would recommend not doing that. But I would also recommend you double-clicking on that friendship, because he's the kind of guy that will show up in the middle of the night to help you out.
Yes, he is.
Pretty cool. And then say, hey, man, I love you. This is one I got to work through. Because part of your healing will be in the sweat equity of earning that $3,000.
This guy is probably one of the most godliest people I've ever met in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I would recommend not taking that money, even though it feels like an easy solution. I would recommend saying, "Hey, thank you. You showed up in the night for me, and I'm grateful. But I want to work this one off. It's going to be my sweat tax. It's going to be my reminder to never get into an online relationship like that again. I don't loan money to friends. I might give it to you, but I got to look you in the eye before I hand it to you, right?
Yeah.
Could you throw $3,600 a month toward these 401k loans if you got scrappy?
Could I do that?
Yeah.
No, I am.
How much could you throw at it?
I am so broke that I can't do hardly anything. What I'm doing right now is I anticipated having to owe like $8,800 to $8,300 on the taxes from last year. That is in debt negotiation.
Hang on the line, Mark. I'm going to send you a copy of my book, Breaking Free from Broke. It's going to walk you step by step through this, but it's going to take getting more income and cutting expenses and getting rid of this debt. Wishing you the best, man.
If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Tina joins us in Jacksonville, Florida. Tina, what's going on?
Hey, thank you for having me on the call. So we were just starting the program, my husband and I, through a very bad series of mistakes with car trade, and now in serious negative equity. And my husband and I talked about it, and we are willing to do whatever it has to take to, we're going to sell the car. We found a dealership that's willing to buy it, but we got to cover the negative equity. So I tried to take out a signature loan through my credit union, and we were declined. So now it's like, what do I do? What's my next step? Do I try to divvy it up amongst credit cards? Do I just bite the bullet and pay off this car? Do I try and take a home equity loan? Where do I go?
Well, any option that involves moving the debt to other debt, I hate that I have to tell you this, is not going to solve your problem.
Think about it like this. You have a bullet wound in your foot. Shooting any other part of your body will not fix that bullet wound in your foot. You got
Understood.
it?
So here's the options you have that don't involve debt. Number one is you guys save up the difference that you owe and then sell it so you can cover the full amount that's owed. Or you said you got declined at that credit union. Have you tried others? Did they tell you the reason? Is it due to your credit score?
Credit score.
Okay, so your credit score is shot because of, was there delinquent payments?
No, overutilization.
Okay.
With our house and all of our credit, we're about $500,000 in debt.
Oh my goodness. How much consumer debt do you guys have?
Serious. I'm sorry?
How much consumer debt do you have outside of the mortgage?
We have 127 in credit card.
127 in credit cards?
Yeah, 127,000 in credit cards.
What did you put on these cards?
Stuff for the house, helping out our kids, vacations that we shouldn't have gone on.
What's the interest rate on these?
The majority of them, they vary between 12 and 18%.
What about this situation? I'm asking you this not to beat you up, but I really want to know where your psychology is. You're $500,000 in debt. The fact that you're considering trying to clean up some of your debt issues with more debt, like at what point does it stop for you?
It has to stop.
Right.
Because we want to retire in 5 years, and we know it's not possible.
Right.
If we don't change. And so I'm willing to, do whatever it takes.
What's your household income?
I had listened to a couple of the shows, and, Dave had said, take out a personal loan to pay off the equity, sell that car, get a beater car, lower your debt, total debt. So that's what I thought we could do, but it doesn't seem like, and I don't trust my own decisions, clearly, because if I did, I wouldn't be here.
So what is your household income?
Monthly, we bring in about $13,000.
Okay, good. And what is your total minimum payments on all of the debt that you have, the consumer debt?
Total minimum payment is monthly. I'm gonna go grab it. About $4,700. Okay.
Are you able to put an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on top of that to pay it off?
Oh, that's what we were going to do, starting with the smallest first.
Good.
But considering I owe almost $80,000 on this car, we thought we could get rid of it, and that would take a huge chunk out.
How much upside down are you?
About $22,000.
And are you sure of that? Because you said the dealership said they'd buy it for this amount. Well, the dealership's going to lowball you comparatively to a private party sale.
So I haven't tried private party. The balance we owe is about $80,000, and when I go through Kelley Blue Book, it's between $55,000 and $60,000 is the value, and the car dealership is offering us $58,000 because it's a 2023 with really low miles on it.
Okay. Well, we want to get as much for this car as we can to shrink that gap. Do you guys have any money in the bank?
Just $1,000.
Okay.
Do you have anything in your home
sell?
you could sell? Yeah.
we've thought about that. Like I said, we're just getting started, and we can start, like selling off. And
What's
I
the
just
house
started
worth?
making my list of things that I could get rid of.
I'm talking tools, guitars, motorcycles,
You guys sound like you bought some stuff with those credit cards.
jet skis, everything.
No, nothing tangible that's worth anything more than like household goods. I'm at the point now I'm willing to sell my wedding set if that would get us out of debt.
What is the house worth?
The house is worth, if we go by Zillow, because I don't have the comps, but if we go by Zillow, it's worth about $424.
And what do you owe on the mortgage?
$273.
Okay. And what was your total consumer debt load? I had cut you off. What's the total of all the consumer debt combined?
Of everything is, not including the house,
Not
is
included.
$233.
Okay. This might
That
be
includes the car and student loans and credit cards.
this might be one of those situations where you make the ultimate sacrifice of selling the house. You'll clear about 150, maybe 130 after fees, and that gets you down to 100,000 in debt.
But also,
Which can get you out of this.
20,000 of that, you sell that car, and that knocks off another 80 off the total.
And what happens then is you're going to have to rent for a while. It may be a long time.
How
But
old are you,
At least
hon?
you can get out of this.
I'm 59.
Okay. When my mom went back to school, she got her tenured professor job at the age of 57. She just retired in her mid-70s. That's not May. That's 100% what you're looking at, okay? You're going to have to go find a job, and y'all are just going to have to work and scratch and claw, consider selling the house. Even if it's just, let's sprint and get this $20,000 to get rid of this car. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and list it private sale just to see what happens too. There's something, the fact that a dealership would offer you more than Kelley Blue Book doesn't register with me, but I don't know enough about the car or anything like that. It doesn't sound right, but maybe. And then you and your husband have to decide, are we going to get 1, 2, or 3, or 4 jobs? Do we want this? No. I don't see a picture where y'all retire in 5 years. I just don't. And so I think the quicker you can grieve that and say we wanted this to be the case, but it's not going to be. Let's shoot for 75 instead of 65. Then it's gonna give you a little gas in the tank, and y'all just gotta knock this thing out like item by item by item. It will not be how you drew it up, and you have to commit to taking debt off the table. It can never be an option for you, ever, ever, ever.
Agreed.
I'm so sorry.
Agreed.
I'm sorry you got to learn
sorry.
this lesson this way, Tina.
We're going to send you Financial Peace University. It sounds like you're new to our gang. We're going to send it to you. We're going to send you for a year the premium version of Every Dollar. It's going to help you and your husband get aligned to do something y'all have never done before, which is make a budget and make money decisions together.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I'm 21 and I graduate next month with a degree in finance.
Good for you.
And thank you. And so I've been dating my boyfriend now for almost a year. And, as I'm graduating and as we've been talking about our life together, our future together, we have the idea of moving to Texas has come into mind. And so the idea kind of came into play because my boyfriend has a buddy out there that he could work with and make more money than what he's currently making. And I'm willing and open to the idea. However, I made it very, very clear to him when we started talking about the move that we both needed to have at least a couple $1,000s saved up prior to the move. And I'm there. I have that money saved up. I'm pretty much ready to move after I graduate. And I've talked to him about potentially going and moving to Texas about 1 to 2 months before I do, because in the whole time that we've been together, I've never seen him work full time. He's not in school and he never went to college. And he works about 20 hours a week right now as a personal trainer in his own business. And so I kind of threw that idea out there for him. And he doesn't want to move out there without me because he thinks I won't follow him. But I genuinely believe that he doesn't want to move out there with me because he doesn't have the financial means to do so. And I think he wants me to be there with him so he can lean on me a little bit. But I've been burned in the past by an ex-boyfriend in a similar situation, and I lost thousands of dollars. And so I don't really know what to do. He tells me that his financial status is none of my business, but I think if we're moving in together, it should be.
Warning. I work 20 hours a week and my money's none of your business. Warning. The bells are going off in your head so loud that you can't even hardly speak around them. Aren't they?
Yeah.
You have alarms going off all around you. You just described them to us very clearly.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's just a hard reality. It's a hard pill to swallow, the reality of what the situation is. But I think you know it, Allison.
Yeah. And I talked to him, and this also it impacts me a lot because, as I said, I'm about to graduate. And so I started looking for jobs out in Texas. But we're kind of at the mercy of, when his friend says he can come and
so the problem is, Allison, you're building your life around somebody, number one, that you're not married to, right? I mean, you have no legal grounds on any level, and you've been burned in the past financially with relationships, as you said, and so you're following somebody that there is no true commitment and no true legal binding of anything, right? And so, that's red flag number one for me, and number two, there's so many splinters off of the situation that if I were your friends and sitting here, I would say, Allison, what's best for Allison? What's best for Allison? And that would be a different question if you guys were married. What's best for you guys as a couple? But you're not. And so having that level of independence for you, Allison, to be able to say, what is best for me? And is it moving to a place that you don't have a job right now, following a guy who won't even let you into his finances, who hasn't had a pattern of doing well financially or work-wise because some buddy of his, X, Y, and Z, it sounds like a disaster. It really does. And
so, Allison, you are very wise for 21 years old because you've actually analyzed this pretty carefully. You've got all the key points in the decision. What's hurting is that it's leading you to a conclusion that is painful. If you had a little sister, do you have a little sister?
Yes, I do.
How old is she?
She's 12.
Okay, so she's 21, and you're now 30, and she comes and gives you this scenario. What are you going to tell her?
I would tell her not to do it.
Okay.
Absolutely not to do it.
All right.
But the thing is, I'm in this place where I am worried that because he treats me so wonderfully, and I'm worried that I'm never going to find somebody.
He actually doesn't treat you wonderfully. If he was working like 60 hours a week, making $100,000 a year, showering you with gifts and paying for everything and asking you to marry him so that he can make a lifelong commitment to you, and then, honey, let's go off to Texas and make a wonderful life, that's treating you wonderfully. Not come over here so I can lean on you because I don't work much.
Yeah.
That's not treating you wonderfully. It's not the definition of wonderful. You would tell your little sister that. All I'm telling you is what you've already told me. I don't really know what's going on except what you told me. But I can tell you this. I have had these situations over the years where everything in my brain is telling me not to do something, but my heart is pushing me forward anyway. And I always look back and go, ouch. So there's a proverb, Proverbs 27:12. It says, I just looked it up because I couldn't remember exactly where it was while we were talking. And there's actually a book been written on it by Andy Stanley. But he says, a wise person sees danger ahead and avoids it, but a foolish person keeps going and gets into trouble. And so, no kidding. That's, like the proverb's kind of obvious. But I've at times gone ahead anyway, even though I knew, down inside of you, your spirit is telling you, the better parts of Allison are speaking to you, and you're saying, this guy's not yet eligible for a life partner. He hasn't earned the right for someone as good as Allison yet. He may be a sweet guy, but there's a lot of lazy guys that are sweet.
Yeah. So what do you suggest I do? I mean, we come from very, very different financial backgrounds. My parents are immigrants, and they didn't get the opportunity to go to college, and they worked so hard to be where they are today.
So your family is a family of work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah. And you are. You're a person who works.
Yes.
Tell him that.
Yes, I have 2 jobs.
Tell him that. Say, I can't go with you until I see some financial responsibility and some work ethic.
And his codependence on you, not just financially, but the idea that if he moves first and you may not follow and that scares him, that's not strength either, right?
Yeah.
There's emotional codependence there as well, Allison. And let me just say too, you would say this to your sister if you were 30 and she was 21, he's not the only one.
Oh, God.
He's not the only one, Allison. I promise you. You're 21. I promise you.
And unless he changes, he's not the one either.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because he's not. He's not. You've not described to someone you've not described to us someone that is worthy of you.
That's right. Yeah. And when you limit options and you think this is it, if I don't choose him, I'm never going to get married, you start to lose the ability to make critical, rational decisions with your life. And I just want to tell you, there's more out there, and you can choose to stay in the relationship and he goes to Texas and you guys work on it and maybe something changes. But as of now, I would not move to Texas.
100%. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. So when I wrote the first book I ever wrote, Financial Peace, in 1994, raise your hand if you weren't born yet. Okay.
They did in the lobby.
Yeah. When I wrote that book, I proposed a concept in our seminars that we were doing in those days, and it was a different world in 1994.
Sure. Yeah.
And
the 90s are back a little bit.
I proposed a concept, and I got so much. One of the first times I got just showered in hate.
Oh, I can't wait.
It was fabulous. And so the concept was this, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but they were a whole lot lower than they are today. So I'll make up some numbers that would be similar to what they probably were. I said something like, if a lady is making $30,000 a year at her job, she has 2 kids, and daycare is $1,000 a month, and she buys clothing, professional clothing, to go to that job, and she dry cleans the professional
because
clothing.
In the 90s, you were wearing suits.
To go to that job.
For a lot of places.
Well, they weren't wearing sweatpants to work in those days, or your pajamas. And so it's a different world, like I said. And if because she was working, she didn't prepare meals from scratch at home because time and fatigue, the family would go out to eat more, and they would spend...
Not from scratch, but just meaning like home-cooked meal.
Spend more on pre-prepared things or going out to eat.
Yeah.
Because of fatigue. Ordering pizza because I'm tired and don't feel like cooking.
Or the husband is choosing not to cook. Yes,
well,
keep going.
Or whatever. I'm just saying. And so 1994.
I know,
okay?
This is the 90s.
So just hang with me here. But I propose that if you add all of these things up, making $28,000 a year, paying $1,000 a month for childcare, these other things added in, after taxes come out, and gasoline to drive to said job, and wear and tear on the car to drive to said job, when you take all of those things out, she's probably losing money working. And it might be cheaper, net, to stay home with the kids if she wants to. I didn't say she should be at home barefoot and pregnant. I did not say that. I said if she chooses to and wants to be at home. Now, people said I said a lot of things I didn't say, but that's exactly what I said. But even on the premise that she can't afford, she's not making enough to justify working.
Yes, or he's
with
not
the
making
expenses.
Yes.
With the expenses
Yep.
at that time.
Yep.
And I caught hell for suggesting that net of daycare, net of all these other expenses, she might not be making anything, because I did some math. And dad blame if I didn't get blamed for the other side of that, not that, but the other way.
Of what?
Of not understanding the cost of daycare and that you can't afford to work because of the cost of daycare. The stinking Wall Street Journal, some woman writes an article trashing me.
Recently, not in 94.
No, just the other day. Just the other day. I said on the air that women, that they can't, that daycare is ridiculous, and so you just need to shut up and go to work. I didn't say that at all. I've said quite the opposite since 1994. And if you're going to hate me for the right thing. Okay? If you're going to bitch about something Dave said, pick out something he actually said. Okay?
Okay, but I think there was a clip of you saying that's a ridiculous amount to pay for childcare. And they clipped that, not knowing the whole call.
Well, of course.
And that
because
specific,
it's the freaking media.
I know, but that specific.
And some idiot on TikTok.
Guy, yes, that specific guy was paying.
He was paying like $28,000 for one kid.
Yeah.
That is dumb.
Well, average right now is $16,000.
Yes.
Okay. So depending on where you are, if you're in New York City and Manhattan, that is going to look different.
No, that guy was calling in. He was trying to put his kid in
I don't remember.
Gucci daycare.
I'm just telling. No, I don't know.
It was Gucci daycare
I don't know.
he was signing up for.
I don't know.
His upper lip was sunburned because his nose was in the air.
We don't know that.
Yes, I do.
No, we don't. No,
Yes.
we don't.
But I am not.
But
I'm on quite the other side of what I got blamed for, which is what I'm upset for. I did not. I mean, all I'm talking about, that particular instance, it's like somebody calling up and going, I'm paying $46,000 a year for my child to attend a private elementary school, and I make $60,000 a year. What do you think of that? I think you're a moron. That's what I think of that. Okay? You can't do math. Your kid shouldn't be in a school that fancy. Okay? Because you're just stuck up. That's all that is. And that's what this guy was. It had nothing to do with the actual cost of daycare.
I think the thing is, it's such a hard subject because unlike 94, you fast forward to today where it is. It's like childcare. I think it's
ludicrous.
30 to almost 40% in some areas since like 2019. Like it really
it's going
is
up
crazy.
faster than tuition. I know that.
Yeah, for working moms and parents.
So no, it's not different than 94. So the exact same thing is true. Some people now with the cost of daycare aren't making money.
That's right.
I
totally agree.
So I'm still saying the same thing.
Yes. No, I know.
But now I'm getting hated for saying the other thing that I didn't say.
I know, but I think too the conversation of a household income, because so many families are dual income, and a lot of families are dual income and make on average, right, like in that 60-70 range per year.
Yep.
And then in order to pay the mortgage and have the food, I mean, like
these days, mama might be making more than daddy.
100%.
That's not unusual at all.
Oh yeah, that's the other option is that the spouse who's
the
making
dad is
more,
the one that goes home. I don't care.
Right.
That's not the point. It's a math thing is all I'm looking at.
And the problem is, though, again, people are getting to this place now because it's risen so quickly that it's
hard.
That they're having to look now at exactly what you're saying, at the options of like, oh my gosh. And I've known some moms that they're like, I got to go home. Like I have 3 kids under the age of 5. And we can't
afford it.
Literally can't afford it.
You make $40,000 a year today, and you have 3 kids under the age of 5 in daycare. You're not making money.
I know.
That's that 1994
and so
example.
What sucks about
in $24.
Right.
$24.
I know. And there's some other ways you can look at it. I mean,
you got to find an alternative
options.
childcare situation if you're going to work in that situation.
Yes.
Because you're not actually making money.
Yep.
You're working and going backward.
And what's hard is for the single mom too, who doesn't.
Oh, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, who almost doesn't even have that option.
But here's the other thing: the 16,000 is the average nationally. This includes expensive markets, inexpensive markets, and it includes expensive daycares and inexpensive daycares. And so there's a lot of ways to skin the cat. There's a lot of ways to take care of the kids. But it is a valid thing to sit and look at it as a family and make
a
decisions.
Call of the values, yes.
But people don't they get emotional because the issue is their children.
And you want the best for your kids.
And their brains melt down and they quit doing math.
Because as a mom with little kids who works, you go through some of these places, you're like, I don't feel comfortable sending my kid here too,
then
right? So
don't.
I know. But it's the idea that it's a hard subject for a lot of people.
It is hard.
It is.
The trick is to not be irrational and justify stupid numbers because you love your children. Love of your children does not make math go away. Math still will roost. It'll still come home. So we want to help you face this high cost. And if you go to RamseySolutions.com, we have a blog there called 13 Ways to Afford the High Cost of Childcare. Almost like everyone at Ramsey knows that childcare
I know
is high.
Ones, yes.
Just in case some of you on TikTok weren't listening, we're aware that childcare cost is high, but that does not mean that you suddenly get a pass on math. The cost of real estate in Manhattan is high, but some of you can't afford to live there because of math. It's that simple. The cost of real estate in Tokyo is high, and some of you can't afford to live there because of math. So we'll help you with this, but I'm not going to help you with denial or the system's broken, so I'm going to ignore math. No, that's not what we're not going to go down that alley.
No, but there are some different ways, creative ways to kind of look at it. And one of the options is what we talked about in the last segment was maybe one parent decides to stay home, right? Like maybe it gets to a point
that's a valid option.
Yeah. So
and
there's
here's
that.
the interesting thing. I'll add one more thing. I said we weren't going to extend the rant, but now we are. Okay. There are parents out there right now with this thing. You and I have talked about this at length, mom guilt. If you work, you're guilty because you're not home. If you're home, you feel guilty because you're not working. Moms can't win.
Yep.
They got guilt either way. Society heaps it on them. They heap it on themselves. If I'm at work, I feel guilty because I'm not home with the kids. If I'm at home with the kids, I feel guilty because I'm not using my degree and I'm not out making money. And so you just can't get away from it. Guys don't struggle from this, by and large.
Yeah,
by and large.
the mom guilt is
the mom guilt is a very real thing.
Yeah.
So in the midst of that statement, there are ladies who really would prefer to be at home with their children.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And have never sat down and done the math that says you should be. Mm-hmm. And so this sets you free.
Because stay-at-home moms.
I want to set you free if that's you.
Yes.
If you're a professional lady, Rachel's in the workplace. My other daughter works. If you're a professional lady in the workplace, we're not trying to say you should go home or you're not a good mom. Mm-hmm. We're not saying that at all. We're saying if that's your choice to be at home, but you feel like you should, that the family needs money for working, and yet you're not netting anything, this math is going to give you permission to go home.
Yes, there's a value, a dollar value for stay-at-home moms, the amount of work that they do.
No question.
For sure.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Jeff is with us. Jeff's in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for taking my call, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
I over the last 5 years, I lost my job and took a pay cut of about $50,000. I've since, in the last year, I brought my income back to where I was before this happened. But over the last 5 years, I've also had a failing business, and I built up quite a bit of credit card debt. $110,000. My wife and I, we make about $115,000 a year, but we have $110,000 in credit card debt between the business and ourselves, and we're strapped. We're contemplating bankruptcy, looking at all of our options. We're doing what we can do with your every dollar plan on the budget, things like that, but we've quite frankly just started that. And I'm just looking for some advice. 52 years old.
What kind of business was it?
It was a house flipping business.
You got any of them left?
I'm in the middle of one right now, but it's out of all the houses we've done, this has been the worst house, and it's eating us alive.
You gonna make a profit on it when you flip it?
Maybe a little.
What do you owe on it?
510. We owe about 115, and it's probably worth 140 to 150.
Yeah. When's it going on the market?
Hopefully in the next week or so.
Good. What do you owe on your home?
I owe $300,000. It's worth $500,000. We built it about 18 years ago and have a lot of sweat equity in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
Of the 115,000 income you told us, is that your wife? I'm assuming, or do you have or is this?
He said he got a new good job.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, my job is really good. Pays well. My wife works and does well also, for this area.
So overall, flipping houses, you have lost when all the smoke cleared $110,000.
Between that and then my job, my salary. I mean, we were living on credit cards for a while.
Okay. All right. So, but the bottom line was the overall business model of flipping houses, you lost money on it.
And mainly that's been in the last 2 years since COVID.
Okay.
And this house has really been a disaster.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So.
And how old did you say you were again? 52, you said. Yeah. Okay.
52.
Right.
Yeah.
The good news is you're not bankrupt. The bad news is you're scared and you're beat up.
Absolutely.
And when we're scared and when we're beat up, we tend to make we have more of a tendency to make bad decisions because we're kind of in a fog. You're in the forest, can't see the trees kind of thing. Been there myself. I know how it feels. It's hard to think clear because everything's just overwhelming you, this idea of just surviving. Does that sound familiar?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to hurt your feelings and hurt your wife's feelings even more. But you can pay the credit card debt. You just got to sell your house.
I understand that.
And here's the bad news. I don't know the rule in Missouri, but in every state except Texas and Florida, you can't keep this much equity in bankruptcy. Because what happens is they have a homestead exemption when you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. There's a homestead exemption, which is the amount of your equity that you get to keep. And anything above that that's substantial, they're going to force the sale of the house to pay your creditors. So Correct. You might as well pay them. So are you behind on the credit cards?
No, we are current. We've called them and got reduced monthly payments, and
Good.
We've canceled all the credit cards.
Good. So what I would do, having been through what you're going through, except with zeros on the end, and I was 28, I wasn't 52, but I still remember being so freaking scared I couldn't breathe. What I would do if I were you is I would fight like a wild man to not have to sell my house. Let's pretend you pay a bunch of credit cards late over the next 3 years, and it messes up your credit, but you become debt-free except the house. I would do that. Okay. And by the way, $115,000 income, $30,000 a year, you can do for 3 years, $40,000 a year for 3 years, you can do it on $115,000 income. You got no life, but you get to keep your house. No life during that 3 years. And you're probably going to be working extra doing something else.
Well,
and you're going to be selling everything you can get your hands on, including this junky butt house you're getting ready to get rid of.
Jeff, how much time, ballpark, are you spending per week on this house that
it's
you're trying
almost
to flip?
Gone, yeah.
On the house, flip house?
How many hours beyond your work are you spending on this flip house?
Probably 25 hours a week.
Yeah. All right. So today's point, Harold, I'm trying to give you some hope. I agree with Dave. I get rid of that house quickly as possible. And now we're done with that. And now that 25 hours I've been spending on that sinkhole, I'm going to spend the 25 hours because you're a pretty handy guy. You could pick up some really nice paying work with your skills. True or false?
Yes.
The answer is true.
I've been doing side hustles.
I know. My point is,
listen, you either do that or you sell your house.
Yeah. And I'd keep the house, work the extra 25 hours and pay
I'd
the
hustle my way through this and pay $40,000 or $50,000 a year on this debt and be done with it in 2.5 years. That's my plan.
Okay. All right.
That's what how I'd get after that. And so so here's the thing. We just said there's two possible paths that's not bankrupt. And by the way, bankrupt won't work. You're going to lose your house in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They're going to take it and pay your creditors because you have so much equity. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Again, off the top of my head, you could ask what Google. You can do it as soon as you get off. I could do it live if I knew how to run Google. But
That's okay.
Google what the homestead exemption for Missouri is. But I'm betting you that it's, probably 10, 20, 30 grand, something like that. And you got 200 grand.
It's 15, and I would have to go Chapter 13. Is how I would.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you're not
that's the only way.
Chapter 13 is Chapter 13 is a payment plan, and you pay the creditors.
Yeah. I know.
And so, well, just pay them.
You got this, Jeff.
Even if you pay them late. Chapter 13 destroys your credit. Paying them late destroys your credit. Whoopee. Destroy your credit. Who gives a crap? We're talking about bankruptcy here. We're talking about you keeping your house. We're talking about you turning the corner on this putting this chapter of your life that sucks in the rearview mirror. So, the path I'm taking, I'm going to work like a maniac for the next 3 years. I'm going to get rid of this stupid house in the next 30 days, even if I break even on it so I can get my life back. And then I'm going to tear into these credit cards, working the debt snowball, smallest to largest. And you're not bankrupt. You just got a sucky 2.5 years coming up to put this crap in your rearview mirror. Ed, you can do it. Hang on. We're going to sign you up for Financial Peace University. We're going to pay for it. And Jeff, been where you are, man. I know how it feels to be scared. I can hear it in your voice. You call me anytime. We'll help you. We'll encourage you. We'll yell at you. We'll cheer for you. Whatever it takes to keep you moving, man. Paul is with us in Sacramento. Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm rocking on to the break of dawn.
Hey-o, what's up,
Sorry,
Paul?
John, I stole that from you.
I like it.
Oh, my, a Dr. John fan. Okay. What's up?
All right, so I'm going to give you my whole life and financial picture. I'm 19 years old. I'm planning on getting married in the next 2 years, and then I want to rent for 2 years after that. So I'm looking to buy a house in probably 4 to 5 years from now. I have $40,000 in cash right now, and I'm thinking of putting that in an S&P 500 until I'm ready to buy a house and just keep adding to that. But my mom says that I should hold that as cash in case a good deal comes up or something like that, just to have that cash ready on hand because I'm going to be going through a lot of changes. So
you can get it out of an S&P 500 in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's as liquid as your savings account is as far as getting a hold of it. The downside is that the stock market might be down that day or that week or that month. And so, I mean, if $40,000, if it had a 10% drop in the stock market, that would be an unusually bad year, statistically unusually bad year, and that would have cost you $4,000. If the stock market is up 10, 15%, you're going to make $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per year doing this. So if you can handle emotionally the swing of you may make 4 or 5 or 6 and you might lose 4, that's probably your over and under on the thing, then the S&P 500 is okay if you can handle all of that.
Right.
The chances of your 40 turning into 20 is very, very, very low. It's only happened a couple of times in history. The chances of your 40 turning into 80 in 1 year never happened. It's never happened.
Right.
So, so your over and under is what you're looking at. What's your best case scenario, worst case scenario, and can you emotionally handle the swing between those two numbers? So, John, from a psychology situation, PhD in psychology, you're in counseling. I was reading a study, I don't know if you've ever seen this data or not, that when someone loses money on an investment, you have seen it, I can tell you're smiling. When you lose money on an investment, if for every dollar that you lose on an investment, to feel the same way emotionally, you have to gain $3. Losses impact our emotions at a 3-to-1 ratio heavier than gains lift us emotionally.
Yes, I don't remember the exact teeter-totter there, but I know Daniel Kahneman's he changed the world with his studies on that. But this idea, and I'd never thought of this, Dave, I'm so obsessed with losses that I don't think about non-future earnings, right? So we get so obsessed with, yeah.
Well, and the reason is that you've experienced you may have a scar where you say, okay, I lost that money. And you know, but you know, the stock market, like people, here's an example. Okay. In 2008, when the market dropped from 13,000 to 6,400, dropped basically in half, the Dow did. We had people, and people will tell you to this day, that they lost all of their retirement in the 2008 downturn. Well, mathematically, that's completely impossible.
It's inaccurate. Right.
It's completely impossible that you lost all of your retirement if it was in mutual funds. You lost half of it. Right. If you happened to buy at the very top and you happened to be the most unlucky person in the world when you chose to sell at the exact bottom, you would have lost half of your money. And by the way, it's not at 6,500 today. It's close to, north of 30,000 today, right. So 40,000. So, that the Dow Jones Industrial Average, in other words. So that, market is up 5x from the bottom there. But in that effort to lose, to emotionally recover from that downturn, you completely avoided the market since 2008. You've missed out. Your $1 million would have been $5 or $6 million.
Right. Or we see that's
especially
what you
missed out on
when you put $5,000 or $20,000 or $100,000 or $1 million into your company, and your company's not doing well. We're so loss averse that we keep dumping money into that thing instead of cutting our losses and moving.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and especially when it's a small business person who their dreams or identity are tied up.
That's right.
Yeah, you just
do it with marriages too. We just keep going. We don't stop and have conversations. Yeah.
We say necessary endings.
Yeah.
Our buddy Henry Cloud, right?
Yeah.
Paul is up next in NYC. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm actually a first-time caller, a long-time listener.
Awesome. Love it. Welcome.
How can we help?
All right. So basically right now I'm looking into basically making a timeline of when I could move out of my parents' house. I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm basically just making my early steps in advance.
Okay.
How old are you?
31.
Okay.
So what's the plan looking like so far?
So, I mean, 2022 was a very good year for me financially. I actually was just going through my my finance spreadsheets, and I actually finished out the year with $81,000. That was my total year-end revenue.
Cool.
And I'm also a music teacher as well, teaching chorus and general music, and I do private lessons on the side.
Okay.
On the side for piano and drums. And it all worked out really well for me last year. I'm also student debt free as of this past April.
Excellent.
So So having the new income come in with my most recent teaching job really helped out tremendously with that.
That's cool.
As of now, I have 42,000 saved up, and I'm hoping by the end of this year I can get past 80,000.
Okay, that's the goal, $80,000 saved?
Yeah, at least.
And that's going to be your down payment on, I'm guessing, an apartment, or what are you looking for?
I mean, either house or condo. I don't know if I'm just going to be comfortable paying like $2,000 or more in rent and just having that.
Are you looking to live?
Every month.
Are you looking to live in the city, or are you looking in the outskirts?
No, Long Island.
Okay, on Long Island. Okay.
So, if you moved out today, what would your rent be? If you rented somewhere,
probably. Yeah, if I rented somewhere, I mean, probably around where I live, I mean, it would probably be north of $2,000, which I would definitely not be able to swing now.
What's your take-home pay?
Take-home pay, I guess each month is probably going to be around $6,000.
Okay. So if you could find something could you find something for $1,500?
I mean, it might be a bit of a stretch. I mean, especially around here. I mean, in Long Island in particular. But I mean, I could start looking and to see what comes up.
I would start looking. I think, I know that you want to get to 80K, but that sounds like it could take a stretch of time. And I'd like for you to make that timeline a little bit slimmer to get out of your parents' house. I mean, you're making $6K a month. I don't think there's any reason that you can't support yourself and live on your own.
And if you stayed, I would have clear communication with parents going, hey, here's my goal. 12 months from now, I'm moving out. My goal is to save this much. Even if I don't have all that saved, I'm moving out, even if it means renting somewhere. Because I think it'll give you a lot of dignity and independence that you don't currently have. And I know it's a high cost of living area. I mean, it's an insane situation over there. I'm from Boston, so I totally get it. That it's a lot of money you need to save up for that down payment. Have you looked at condos in the area and see what that's going to cost you to buy?
Yeah, I just started looking at those. I mean, if I'm looking, let's say, between 300, 500 grand, I mean, that's obviously very steep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only recently just started looking at that. I haven't really tailored my searches on the condos lately.
Yeah, I'd start looking into that. And also, how many hours, I know that you're kind of freelancing right now, you're into music. How many hours a week are you working? Is there a way that you can pick up more lessons, pick up more, teaching and really amp up your income even more so that you can make this happen faster?
Or even increase your hourly rate by a few bucks.
Yeah, I mean, currently, it's funny. I mean, I'm at probably the busiest I've ever been. I have probably 30 students on the side freelance, but my main job is teaching in a public school. So that's already 5 days a week.
Okay.
So I've got all those going on at the same time. I'm working 6 days a week.
What does the public school job pay?
So that's around $67,000 per year.
Okay.
And my private lessons account for that's an additional 20 to 25 grand a year.
That's good. Can I just ask you, how much are you charging hourly for your lessons?
So hourly, it's around, it's split up by half hour, and I teach at 2 different places where it's around 15 or so per half hour. So we're a little over 30 an hour.
That feels super cheap.
It's super cheap. Can I just say this?
Can you teach me, Paul? I mean, goodness gracious.
I did lessons. Paul, I did lessons for years. My husband did bass lessons and keys lessons, and I taught piano and voice lessons. And I only did hour blocks, and I charged $1 a minute, so it was at least $60. And then after I had a certain block of students, which you have more than I had, I charged $100 an hour. And if you're teaching music and you know how to play music, you know your stuff. You need to charge more money, dude.
Paul, think about this. If you raised your rates to 30 for a half hour, you could do half the work for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And no one would bat an eyelash.
Exactly. Yeah. The only problem is it's within 2 places, 2 separate businesses. I'm not teaching private lessons on my own anymore.
I think that you can, Paul. I think there's major opportunity here. And here's the thing. I think that when you get out of your parents' house, there is a certain level of comfort and security when you got a place, you've got that place, right? Mom and dad, I can just pull in the driveway and it's there. But when you start having your own place and you got to hit that rent, I think that is going to motivate you in ways that you're going to become much more innovative, because necessity is the mother of invention. When you need to get that money, you need to make that money, you will start having ideas. And you will start making those ideas happen because you have no choice but to make those ideas happen. So I think, Paul, for you, for your music business, for your lessons to take off, I actually think that getting out of your parents' house is going to be essential for you. And I hope that you make that move sooner than later.
Absolutely. Paul's just like a likable guy.
Yeah.
You're just rooting for Paul. He is the main character, and we want to see Paul win. And by the way,
I want to see him raise his prices, George.
Yes. And this is a great reminder that you don't get a pass on math because you live in a high cost of living area.
True that.
And so if you want to live in New York City, Long Island, Boston, LA, you name it, you got to make more in order to still hit your money goals, or you got to show up there and with a whole bunch of money, which most people don't have.
Yep.
But looking at the numbers here, getting a condo even for $300 grand with 80 down, that's still $2,200 a month almost.
Yeah.
On that 15-year, which is the only mortgage we'd ever recommend you have, because the goal is to get out of debt, not be in it twice as long.
And he might have to rent, and that's all right.
And so that was my thing. He may need to rent and keep saving, do the side hustle for one more year, save up another 20, use all the side hustle money in his savings, get to $100 grand as a down payment.
Yes, and I bet you this: when Paul gets out of Mama and Papa's house, he might meet himself a nice, fine lady.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing here,
Well,
George,
it's a good
because
point that
there's something to that.
Dual income, like while marriage is great, dual income is also something that not a lot of people talk about.
That's right.
Having the power of two incomes at your disposal changes the game. It changes your money goals. And we've seen the numbers. Married couples just build wealth quicker because you've got more manpower there.
They build wealth quicker. And it says that if they combine their finances, they are actually happier. They're more likely to stay together. And they build wealth 4 times faster.
There you go. If that's not a reason to get married, I don't know what is. Marriage has got a bad rap in today's culture.
It has.
It's looked at very negatively, especially from the men. They're like, well, she's just going to take me to the cleaners. I'm like, well, no wonder you're still single, dude. No one wants to marry that guy with that attitude.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm honestly confused by that because I have seen that when you are in a loving relationship, no addiction, nothing crazy going on, right? So there's no reason to not combine the finances. But when you do combine them, man, you get out of debt faster, you build that wealth faster. It's a win-win.
Amen.
Matthew is with us in Providence, Rhode Island. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Hey, doing well, Dave. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so my wife and I are in baby step 2. We have $190,000 of debt besides the house.
Good Lord, on what?
Mostly private student loan debt of mine.
What are you, a doctor or a lawyer?
I'm a stupid musician.
A stupid musician?
Yes, sir. I actually, I'm not currently working with music right now, making money. I'm actually in insurance, so that just goes to show you the biggest stupid tax I've ever done.
Good Lord, what is your degree? Did you get a degree?
No, so even worse.
Oh my Lord! And how much of this $190,000 did you spend on that not getting a degree thing?
Yeah, about 150. Yeah, I've been beating myself up the last however many years.
So what is your household income now, sir?
It is 160.
That's good news.
That's the good news.
That's good news.
So
you got a big hole. You got a big hole and a decent shovel. Good. Okay. And so, so almost all the 190 is student loan then, or 110 of it is.
So it's mostly in student loan. There's 14 in credit cards and about just under 5 of a car that we're going to pay off very soon.
Yeah. Okay. So you're working the debt snowball then.
So we're working the debt snowball. We're in baby step 2. The question is, so my plan, or our plan, I should say, was to finish this in about 3 years with the income that we have.
Yeah.
And we're going to upgrade in house. We have a family of 4.
After.
Absolutely after.
Yeah.
The question that my wife proposed was, our house, we have about $100,000 worth of equity in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So she was proposing, what if we get down to about the $80,000 mark or so in a few years, 2 years, maybe cut the debt snowball by a year by selling the house at that point, finishing it off, and renting while we save up for.
It's still the same period of time to get into a new house, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's my original plan was to just work the debt snowball.
You're going to get, I mean, because here's the thing. If you sell the house and pay off the debt early, you still got to put the $100,000 back in an account before you buy a house, right?
Right.
And so you're just swapping pockets with your money here. You're not gaining any time on your calendar towards getting a new home. So I'm going to sit right there. I'm going to sit right there in that house. Moving is expensive emotionally and financially. So, I mean, if you had $300,000 worth of equity and you still had $200 to buy a house with later, that'd be different. But you got $100, and it's going to be gone. I mean, when you do this, so now you got to start over saving for a down payment, and so you don't really gain anything on your calendar doing that. No. Hey, I'm glad you're working your way through it. It sounds like you got it lined up, and hey, we've all done stupid stuff in the past. It's in the past. Put it behind you. But plow through it, clean it up. And learn your lesson. Teach your kids don't do this. So you change your family tree now, man. Way to go. Good for you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Vinay is with us in Tampa. All right. Is it Vinay? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So I recently started working on the baby steps, and I'm almost at the baby step 2, where I'm trying to pay off my personal loans and credit cards. But here's the thing. So more than half of my income goes into paying off the minimum payments, and then the personal expenses and rent and stuff, So I'm trying to pay off my debt as soon as possible, but it's like the minimum payments are eating up my income. So I don't know. I'm all confused now.
What's your income?
About $6,500 a month.
Okay. And how much debt do you have?
40,000, around 40,000.
On what?
On personal loans and credit card debt.
Okay. No car payment.
No, I don't have a car with me. It got totaled recently, so I don't have it anymore.
And your take-home pay is $6,500.
Yes.
So you're taking home $78,000 a year, and you got $40,000 in debt. There should be some margin here to attack this debt. So the question is, where's all the money going?
I'm making the minimum payments. That's what eating up my income. Like I'm trying to cut down my personal expenses, but it's just not happening.
But your minimum payments aren't $3,000 a month, are they?
They are. Yeah.
You must have short terms on this debt.
Yes, exactly.
You got like a debt that's a 1-year or a 2-year debt, or did you get into payday lending or something, or what'd you get into here?
Yeah, 2.5 years. I was unemployed for a while, and I had to take some personal loans. Yeah,
you got a short term.
I'm employed now.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the good news is, if you pay the minimum payments, you're going to be done in 2.5 years with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So anything extra you can put on there is going to accelerate that. So you should be out of debt in under 2 years.
Okay.
By just paying a little extra beyond your minimum payments. Does that sound right?
So yeah, it makes sense. But when I try to calculate my the debt and my income, I see that it's half of my entire income for a year. So I'm trying to get that done in a year, but it's not happening. So so I just have to make those minimum payments for 2 years and get that done.
No, I'm saying it's somewhere between there. It's not the minimum payments. It's more than the minimum payments, but your minimum payments are so high that they're not that they are, because they're on a short term, and that's jamming it up, and that's forcing the payment size up in order to pay it off in 2.5 years on a regular amortization. So yeah, you're going to pay the minimum payments plus a little, and that's going to get you out in under 2.5 years. But you're probably not going to make it in 1 year. You could, but you're really going to have to tighten up expenses even further than you figured out a way to do yet. So make sure you're doing a written budget on every dollar, and make sure you've really analyzed how much you're eating out, really analyzed how much you're spending on any kind of luxury item of any kind. And the other thing you can do is look at picking up a side hustle.
Yeah, there's only 2 ways to create margin. You're either going to have to get more income or shave down your expenses. And I would do both if I was in your shoes. So I'm looking at every side job I can take. If you can do overtime, do that. You're going to have to sacrifice if you want to see this stuff gone. And then on the budget side, like Dave's saying, I'm going through every single line item and I'm doing an audit. Can I shave this down? Am I paying too much for this? I'm going to work on all my insurance rates, make sure I'm not overpaying on premiums. I'm going to cut down eating out. And once you do that, you're going to give yourself a raise and find $500 magically in the couch cushions of your budget.
The other thing you can make sure of is that make sure you have stopped retirement temporarily. Make sure you're not getting a tax refund. If you are, that means that you are having too much withheld and you need to adjust your withholding so you're bringing home even more. You just keep fine-tuning all of these little things, and I think you're going to get there. I think you're going to get there faster than you feel like you're going to get there.